What's up, party people? Neverfall News Network coming at you live, but not so live. Just wanted to do a little report on round 2 of my mini debate with Sam Seder. So I called into the show, made a few points, and Sam agreed with them. And then after I hung up, they, talked about my call, but without me being able to rebut anything that they're saying. So I'd like just to be able to counter some of the points that they make after I hung up. So in my mind, it's kind of the beginning of round 2. And if they want to respond, they can. If they don't want to, I'll take the victory here, I guess. So here's what was said after I hung up. If you want to see the original video, I'll put a link in the description of this video to show you the original debate and what was said. So here's what was said after I hung up, and here are my responses to what was said.
Goodbye.
There's a reason that you will never get that sort of basic public service broadcasting from the major networks. So I don't think it's a useful aspiration. As for us,
Okay, really quick. He said that there's a reason that you won't see this kind of reporting on the major networks. So he doesn't think it's a useful aspiration. So he's not a major network. Sam Seder is not a major network. This is independent news media. I'm not in contact with CNN for that very reason. I'm calling you. So you can't really use the excuse that a major news network would use when you're not one.
I heard us do a podcast or segment on how you can install solar in your home. I guess I can take the point about
Okay, he doesn't even finish the thought there. He said if we did a podcast on how you could get solar on your home, and then cuts himself off because he doesn't want to say that's a great idea, but he should say that.
Small solar thing that can charge your phone, but I don't think that I have one of those. It hasn't changed my life, but maybe.
Okay, just to counter that really quick, I think your name's Matt behind the camera there. I didn't say that a $20 solar charger would change your life. I said $20 could change your life if you direct it the correct way. So what I mean by that is if you live close enough to your work and you want to buy a used bike, you could buy a used bike for $20. So it's just one example of how $20 can change your life. And those are the things that you could talk about on the show. There's more than one way to change how your money flows. And the solar chargers are more of an idea for people who aren't in the position that you, me, and other people might be in where we're comfy. It's more for the most at-risk people. If you put a solar charger in the hands of someone who's homeless, they actually have solar, or they have cell phones, so a solar charger allows them to charge it where they're at instead of having to go, get kicked out of Starbucks or whatever. So the solar charger thing was more about what we could do for $20 to kind of help somebody else out. And then, if you really want to talk sometime, Matt, about the different ways a $20 bill can trickle down to be success for you, we could definitely talk about that. I was homeless and made $2, not even 20, into a business. So I'm just saying there are possibilities. It's just more about talking about it, creating a community where you kind of involve everyone and let them know, in the chat, hey, let's have some ideas of how you think $20 could change someone's life, and then go from there.
Maybe it'd be really good for people to know about.
It's very,
And he does say maybe it'd be really good for people to know about, and it really would, Matt. Our objective through my wife's organization really is to get a handheld solar charger in the hands of people experiencing homelessness, because she is the executive director of a nonprofit that helps house people women and children experiencing homelessness specifically, but men as well, as a secondary effort. So it really is important to be able to connect them to resources, because the big hiccup is they don't have a way to charge the device that actually has the resources on it. So if they have phone numbers in their speed dial, they're able to actually call out to mental health professionals, shelter professionals, soup kitchens, things like that. So it is more important for people who are, not in a good job and things like that to connect them with resources. So we don't have a lot of time in the call, and hopefully I cleared that up a little bit.
I mean, we also live in New York. Like, the first part of the argument, am I supposed to go to my building and ask if they can install?
That's the thing. I'm a renter. Like,
Okay, we have like multiple points there, and Emma seems frustrated. I'm sorry that these things frustrate you, Emma, and I understand a lot of this is new. You're a young lady who went from Young Turks to here, and what you think is progression is what they've told you it is, because you grew up through this stuff, and it's just not. You need to be more green to win this countdown versus climate change. Everyone does, and you have the platform. So I know it's frustrating, but the reality is that yes, in New York, lots of people use solar. You're not, there's nothing different from you than another human in New York. You have the choice to move to a building that does use solar, or yes, you can go to your building owner and you could say, hey, I'm just wondering what you would think about raising all our rent by $25, but getting solar and saving us all $75 on an electric bill. So it's zero down for him to get the solar installed. Then you guys pay him $25 extra for the space you're in for doing it, and he saves you $75 in electric bill. It's totally doable. With your platform of 1.17 million people, you could absolutely say, hey, Emma Vigland here from the Sam Cedar, love to do a news report on you and how you're going to be a forward thinker who gets solar on the building just by suggestion. So yeah, you can do that. And another option, if you don't want to do that kind of work, is take some money and buy a portable solar system. That grid is not going to last forever in New York. You don't, even if you don't want to do it for other people, do it for selfish reasons so that you have power when other people don't. So yeah, you live in New York. I get it. You're young. You want the life of a socialite. That's acceptable. Unfortunately, you were born in an era where the generations before you really, really did not care about the earth. And it's now up to all of us to pitch in and do what we can. So there are green things that you do. I've heard that you take public transportation or walk, and, that's all great. So no one's saying you're a piece of shit. You don't really have to get defensive. You're obviously for the right causes, but don't think because of the news you've been served that you can't get portable solar. And that is the ultimate point of the handheld solar, is to make people who think that solar's impossible to understand that it can be right in their hand in 2022. So Emma, for $1,100, you can get it's very windy in New York, a solar generator called At Nature's Generator that you can put on the balcony of a New York City apartment that works in the shade on a cloudy day, that will charge your laptop, your phone, your TV, all of the stuff that you have except maybe your refrigerator, and really reduce your carbon footprint if you want, and also be sustainable when the grid's shut down from our excessive use of it. So I'm just trying to help you guys understand how to not be victims of Darwinism.
Can't put solar on
the roof. I rent an apartment.
So I think I countered that point. Like I'm saying, you can get portable solar. They make it $20 handheld that will charge your phone. They make $100 mid-range that will run a computer. They make medium to large range that are $1,100 that will run everything but a huge fridge in your house. They make rooftop solar that will run everything. So there's a lot of different ways to get solar, and these days that same generator can be charged with wind or hydropower and other ways. So it's just time we talked more about the technology and how we can all contribute and come together to actually try to make a difference in what we're doing while also saving money. Giving hope to people is the main point here, is not giving people the thought that it's just give up. It's about hope. We need hope to win, right?
I mean, I don't think that there is. I think that let's put it this way, folks. If you do a show where you are on a daily basis showing people, like, what the caller was saying, let us know, and we'll tell people about that show.
Okay, Sam, I mean, challenge accepted, man. I do that show. What's the view count, the subscriber count that you want? I have to be super popular. It has to be, something that gets clicks. I don't understand really, because I called you and I do that show. I ended the call saying Neverfall News Network signing out. Like, I do that show. I'm talking about it right now. My whole point in calling you is to hopefully get someone with 1.17 million subscribers to do it, because building from 0 to your subscriber count is going to take some time. So I'm willing to do it, but it'd be great if other like-minded people adopted good things and just did them, so.
I've at times, like, when I've had experience with geothermal, talked about geothermal, but should I do that every day? I mean, honestly, like, I think it's not a bad idea as a suggestion.
Okay, I mean, there you go. He just said, I talk about geothermal before, and I'm into geothermal, and I think it's a good idea, but should I talk about it every day? Well, I mean, I think it's a good idea, but so, he shouldn't talk about it every day. That would get boring. No one expects you to talk about geothermal every day, but that's kind of where you're straw manning a little bit there, Sam, because geothermal is just one of many renewable technologies that we could use. So yeah, you could do geothermal on Monday, solar on Tuesday, wind on Thursday. Like, it's until everyone gets it, learns it, and starts doing it, we're just not going to win, man. And, people respect you. They look up to you. They look up to you for news and knowledge, and people adopt the way you guys think because it's popular. So all you have to do is make cool things popular. People will just follow. I mean, there's way more sheeps than shepherds. So be a shepherd and just show the sheep what's up. It's that simple. And I'm not saying all your viewers are sheep, so don't get offended. I'm just saying, there's more sheep than shepherds. So definitely be that shepherd. You can definitely do progressive stuff.
Suggestion of, like, what you can do, but the other point is that we're talking about government policy here, and
no, we're not, Sam. I'm sorry, man. Like, being as nice as I can here, I never once mentioned government policy, not once. You guys asked me for an example, I said climate change. I'm talking about individual accountability here. I'm not talking about government policy at all. I do not believe that our government has our best interest in mind. So I don't believe in government policy. It takes too long. It's bureaucracy. It gets in the way. Like, I can make the changes right now. Everyone seems to think for some reason that, like, being green is illegal and that they have to be forced to do it. Like, the good people are the ones who are going to do it before they're told to, because they realize what's going on and they want to make a difference. If you want to follow suit to, I don't know, get rid of the white guilt you feel or whatever after the fact, that's fine. But getting the cart in front of the horse is actually good in this situation. Just need to start working on renewable, sustainable ways that these viewers, for less money than fossils, can start doing, green things.
Everybody, it's going to take more than people having solar panels for their iPhones to really get us to where we need to go. And
again, like, I don't even know why people say this stuff. Like, really, you're coming back with, it's going to take more than people having portable solar panels for their cell phones to change. Of course, dude. That's the beginning. That's the bottom line, bare minimum that you can do. That's what comes after I have a recycling bin, is I have a handheld solar panel. Like, seriously, what else is there? Tell me what else there is to do to be green after I have a handheld solar, and then you go up from there. You don't stop at I have a handheld solar panel. Like, it's a mindset of being green in all ways. It's saying, you know what? I'm going to start by charging my little phone with a solar charger, and then I'm going to make another investment towards green energy and support a progressive business that is trying to do good things, as opposed to supporting the electric company that's been owning me for years. It starts there. It works up to the $100 solar panel. Then it works up to the $1,000 solar panel. Then it works up to rooftop solar. That's how you do it. You put it in the caveman's hand, the little solar panel, and they go, "Holy shit, I can charge my phone with the sun in my hand now." And then they go, "Well, that means I can charge this with," you see what I'm saying? It's opening the mind with putting it in their hand so they can see it work. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You need to show people what they can do with the technology. And for people like you, that's cheap. You could give away, like, Sam, I know you have an extra $20 bill in your pocket every week. You could just give away a solar panel to one of these viewers every single week and just show them. And then work up to the $100 solar panel a month, the $1,100 unit per year. You can't tell me you don't make enough money to donate that back to your viewers. You absolutely can. These viewers are the ones who make you guys happen. So give back to them.
So, yes, by all means, recycle, get solar. If you can get geothermal, get geothermal, et cetera, et cetera. So,
by all means, recycle, get solar, get geothermal, etc., etc. He just kind of like blows past it, like, yeah, I'll do that. And it's like, okay, but again, that's kind of what I'm saying. The problem is we shouldn't just blow right past it. We should uplift it, do more of it, and show people who are waiting for the government to tell them what to do about being green, how to be green right now legally for less money than living on fossil fuels.
that's I don't know what else to say. But it's not a bad idea. But
I don't
And again, Sam says it's not a bad idea. Like, Sam agrees with me all across the board.
love, calls about how the show needs to be the show you want. Sorry.
even if they say more sports,
Maybe create your own show or something, or like it. I don't know. It's just
the bar to entry for a YouTube show pretty low.
you also can critique what is like done within the confines of what the show is, and you could say you could be doing this better, but that's not what the show is. It's not what we do. So I really have very little patience for that, to be honest with you.
Calling from a two.
Okay, and like there's a lot to unwrap there, and I suggest everyone go back and watch Emma. She is just very resistant, and I'm sorry that's the case. I'm calling to ask you to get solar, and you are just absolutely resistant to it. To say you don't like calls like that is just so bad for the movement. You know, like people look up to you, young women look up to you. There's 18-year-olds right now who are going to go out into the world and use the same excuses you use. I live in New York City. I don't need to get solar. Like, that's just, I don't know what to say about that, Emma. Like, you don't like calls like mine. I'm really sorry about that. I've heard some of the calls that come into Sam Cedar. So, like, that you don't like calls that are saying, hey, do a segment on solar. I don't know what to say. And then she says that if you want to critique the show in the confines of the show, then go ahead and do that, which is what I'm doing. Like, you guys talk about Green New Deals and left ideas, and I'm talking about Green New Deals and left ideas on your show. I am absolutely critiquing you within the confines of the show. And I'm not using straw man arguments, and I'm not badgering you on some ridiculous stuff. It's pretty, valid things to ask you guys to do with your platform. So I don't know why you're so resistant. You should probably try to think about how you can do more for other people as opposed to just about yourself in this world. Like, you don't have to settle for my job is a majority report or host. You can definitely try to take that platform and do better things. So she then says, why don't you start your own show, basically? And that's what I'm doing. It's called Neverfall News Network. Go back and say where Sam says, if you're doing this kind of show, we'll prop you up. And meanwhile, I'm banned from their live shows on Twitter. Emma Vigland has blocked me on Twitter. You won't do that, Sam. So I'm just going to kind of call you out here and say, please do what you say you're going to do. And I do that show. No one else does. So you said you would have me on the show. have me on the show. Let's have a discussion. Doesn't need to be a debate with you and I because we agree on every single issue almost to the nines. So I hope you guys like this. This is just my opinion of, you know, how they are and what I'm saying being valid. And I think that, you know, they should respond to this or allow a caller a second chance to respond if they're going to talk for 10 minutes after they hang up. So, Neverfall News Network signing out.